So to those who have just joined us, very warm welcome on behalf of the School of Vedic Studies. We will begin with our Gita Pravaha session number 2 for the Sunday batch. Looking to see if Prabhu is with us. Hare Krishna, His Grace Kamal Lochana Prabhu is with
Hare
us.
Krishna.
Very warm welcome to you, Prabhu. Over to you. Hare Krishna.
So we chanted these 27 verses and we have a small recap of what we did in the first chapter last time. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita starts with Dhritarashtra Vacha. Dhritarashtra is speaking to Sanjaya and he's inquiring from Sanjaya, externally showing affection for his son, saying that, "Oh my dear Sanjaya, please tell me what is happening to my sons in the battlefield. What are they doing?" But inside Dhritarashtra, in his mind, he was always thinking that my sons should not compromise. My sons should, after entering the Dharmakshetra, they should not be influenced by Dharma. They should not become Dharmikas. I know my sons are going to die in the battlefield, but still I want them to fight and die there, because at least during the time when they're fighting, I'll have my seat. It is not that Dhritarashtra was not knowing that Duryodhana, his sons, will not die in the battle. Rather, Saraswati herself heralded to the entire world through the mouth of Dhritarashtra, Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetra, by heralding this thing, by speaking these words. Saraswati made Dhritarashtra tell the entire world that Pandavas are going to be victorious. No matter whatever may be the power of the Kauravas, Pandavas will be victorious because Dharma is on the side of Pandavas. Krishna, as a farmer, is going to weed out all the Kauravas and protect the Pandavas. Like a farmer in the Kshetra, in a field, paddy field, he protects the paddy by weeding out the unwanted weeds. So then, after hearing the question by Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya tells Dhritarashtra, "Oh my dear Dhritarashtra, don't worry. Even though your son has entered the Dharmakshetra of Kurukshetra, where he entered the Dharmakshetra, entered a religious place, but religious place has no effect on him. Because a donkey may go to a religious place, the donkey will always be donkey. So you don't worry. Your son is going to fight. You are also blind and your son is also blind. The only difference is your son is materially not blind." Drishtvat Pandavanikam Yudam Duryodhanastata Acharya Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit. So Duryodhana, he saw the nice, wonderful arrangement of the Pandavas' army and they was captivated by fear. But the fear could not cover up his, the diplomacy could not cover up his fear. Duryodhana acted diplomatically. He went and instigated Dronacharya by saying, "Dronacharya, what have you done? Just see. Tavasishyena dhimata. Your disciple is more intelligent than you. He has learned the military science from you and is now going to act against you. He is using the same military science which he has learned from you against you. And you are knowing very well. When Drishtadumna appeared from the sacrificial fire, there was a Akashvani, there was a Bhavishyavani that Drishtadumna is going to kill you, Dronacharya. But still, Dronacharya, you taught him military science. You did a foolish thing. Now don't be foolish anymore." In this way, he went on instigating. Ultimately, he started counting those people who are on the side of the Pandavas. He said, there are so many people on the side of Pandavas who are as strong as Bhima and Arjuna. And while talking like this, he said that my side also, there are so many people who are also very powerful. Madarte Jakta Jivita. The 9th verse was very interesting verse, where Duryodhana, he says, Anyeja Bhavashura Madarte Jakta Jivita. According to Duryodhana, it was actually, he was thinking that these soldiers are so surrendered to me. Madarte, for my sake, Jakta Jivita, they are willing to give up their own life That is what he was thinking. But actually, it was not the case. Madarte Tekva Jivita has another meaning. What is another meaning of Madarte Tekva Jivita? Because of me, they are going to give up their life. So in this way, Duryodhana, Saraswati made Duryodhana speak that Pandavas are going to be victorious. So in this way, we came to the position where the Pandavas and the Kauravas, both of them blew their conch shells and kettle drums. But when the Pandavas blew their conch shells and the kettle drums, the Kaurava army, they were shattered, their hearts were shattered. Hridayani Vedharayat, 19th verse. Namascha Pratvim Cheya Tumno Bhinunadhan. The Kauravas' hearts were shattered when the Pandavas blew their conch shells. But when the Kauravas blew their conch shells in the kettle drums, the Pandavas' hearts were not shattered. Why is it so? It is because of the Pandavas' faith in Krishna. That Krishna will protect me in all circumstances. Whoever has faith that Krishna will protect me in all circumstances, they will not be fearful in all kinds of circumstances. Now, Ata Vyavasthitam Drishtva, 20th verse. Dhatrashtran Kapitvajha, Pravruttesha Sampate, Dhanurudyama Pandava, Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Idavaha Mahipate. So here, Sanjay is telling that Atha Vyavasthitam Drishtva, after seeing the nice, wonderful army, arrangement of the army, Arjuna, he took the arrow and kept it on the bow, and he was about to release. Pravrutte Shastra Sampade, Dhanurudyama Pandava, Rishikesham Tadavakyam Idamaha Mahipate. Hey Mahipate, King Dhritarashtra, Arjuna spoke to Krishna. What did he say? Senayor Bhayor Madhye, 21st, 22nd verse. Senayor Bhayor Madhye, Ratam Sthapayam Achyuta, Yavadeta Niriksheham, Yuddhakamana Vastitam, Kaimaya Saha Yoddhavyam Asmin Ranasamadhyame. So Arjuna tells Krishna, oh Krishna, take this Ratha between the two armies. Senayor Bhayor Madhye, Ratam Sthapayam Achyuta. So now this section from 22nd verse, 21st onwards talks about the Bhakta vatsala of Krishna. How much Krishna loves his devotees. That Krishna loves to accept instructions from his devotees. Arjuna, he knew very well that Krishna is Achyuta. Achyuta means one who never falls down from his position. What is the position of Krishna? He may fall down from the position of Bhagavan. He may step down from the position of Bhagavan, but he'll never step down from the position of being Bhakta vatsala, being a person who actually loves his devotees, who has got affection for his devotees. Krishna will never give up his affection for his devotees. He may give up. He has become a driver now. For Bali Maharaj, Krishna has become a watchman. For Arjuna, Krishna has become a driver. But he would never give up his position of being Bhakta vatsala. Arjuna had confidence in him that he is going to accept my instructions. He is going to follow my instructions. Generally, we say we should follow the instructions of God. But here God likes to follow the instructions of his devotees. Krishna would like to follow the instructions of his father. Nanda Maharaj would tell, bring shoes. Krishna would bring shoes. He would bring his shoes. The gopis would say, dance. If you dance, we'll give you some chas. We'll give you some buttermilk. And Krishna would dance to get some buttermilk from the gopis. So that is the affection which Krishna has for his devotees. That is why Krishna is addressed here as Achyuta, one who never falls down in the position of being affectionate to his devotees. So now Krishna is also addressed here. I want to see who is there. Then Krishna took the chariot between two armies. Why you want to see? Whom you want to see? I want to see those who are the sons of the Dhritarashtra, the evil-minded sons of the Dhritarashtra. Yuddhe priyachikir shavaha. They are so enthusiastic to fight. I don't know why they are enthusiastic. Then 24th verse. Eva mukto rishikesho gudakeshena bharata senayor bhayor madhye stapayitva ratottamam. Then Krishna, he took the chariot and then put it between the two armies. Bhishma Drona Purvatha, Sarvesham Chamhikshitam, Uvacha Partha Pashetam Sametan Purniti. Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, just see Bhishma, Drona, and Sarvesham Chamhikshitam. There are so many people here who are there in front of you. Kuruniti, you see them. As soon as Arjuna saw Tatra Pashyastan Partha, 26th verse, Pitriyata Pitamahan, Acharya Matulan Bhatrin. He saw all those people who were like his grandfathers. Who were the grandfathers? They were Bhishma and Somadatta. Like fathers, Bhurishava. And his teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya. He had his uncles like Shalya. And his brother like Dronacharya. And his sons like Lakshmana. His friends like Ashwatthama. And all these people were there in front of him. Tan Samiksha Sahakaunteya. Sarvan Bundu Namastitan. Kripaya Prayavishto Vishidan Itam Abravit. So when Arjuna saw these people, his heart was overwhelmed with compassion. Vishidantam Kripaya Parayavishto. Kripaya means compassion. Paraya means great compassion. His heart was overwhelmed with so much of compassion and with sorrow, with great Vishada. Now, this is how this chapter gets the name Arjuna Vishadha Yoga. Because in the 27th verse of the first chapter, the word Vishada comes. Vishidan idam apravit. Vishada means he's very much in depression now. He spoke like this. Arjuna Vacha, 28th verse. Drishtvainam sajanam Krishna yutsam samupastitam sidantam agatrani mukam cha parishishyati. So here all the symptoms of nervousness. Yutsam samupastitam. As soon as he saw those people who were there to fight, sidantam agatrani, his whole body started trembling. Mukam cha parishishyati, and mouth started drying up. Vepoyishchat sharire me romarshas jayate gandivam samsite hastat tvakchaiva paridahyate. Arjuna says, my dear Krishna, my whole body is trembling. Romarshas jayate, my hairs are standing on the end. Gandivam samsite hastat. Gandiva is slipping from my hand. Tvakchaiva paridahyate, my skin is burning. Now some people say, oh, Bhagavad Gita was good maybe 5,000 years back, but it is not practical now. No, it is practical today as much as it was practical 5,000 years back. It will be practical after 5,000 years as much as practical today and was before. Because Arjuna, what is he experiencing? Gandiva is slipping from the hands of Arjuna. For a student who has gone to examination hall and he sees the question paper, it was so tough and his pen slips from his hand. For a housewife who is facing some family problem, the cooking spoon, the cooking ladle will slip from the hand because she is having some kind of anxiety and some tension. So everybody has to face through difficult situations. So in those difficult situations, who is going to help you? Nobody will help you. It is only Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita which is going to help us. Like for Arjuna, who helped Arjuna to come out of this kind of depression? It was not that Arjuna was not strong. Arjuna was very powerful. He had the Gandiva in his hand. He got the Gandiva and he got Pashupatastra from whom? From Lord Shiva. Arjuna could defeat Lord Shiva and get the Pashupatastra from him. Such a great warrior like Arjuna. He also went into such situation where severe depression, anxiety, is not able to maintain himself. How was it possible? How is it that Arjuna could come out of such situation? It was only possible because of the teachings given by Krishna in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So, if somebody studies the Bhagavad Gita, the Arjuna who was saying, I will not fight, Nayotchaiti Govinda, he would stand up and say after reading Bhagavad Gita, yes, I will fight. So, these days, there is so much talk going on of motivation. What else can be a more motivation book? What seminar can be a better seminar than a seminar on Bhagavad Gita to be motivated? So this motivation, what Krishna gave to Arjuna at the time of the war, that is actually best. So, Gandivam samstate hastat takshai paridhyate. Then he says, Na cha shaknomi avasthatum brahmati vacha me manaha nimittani cha pashyani viparitani Keshava. Oh my dear Keshava, I am only seeing reverse reactions. The very purpose for which I am fighting the war, the purpose will not be solved. Not only the purpose is not going to be solved, but I am going to face the exact opposite reaction. Vipirita Keshava. So I don't want to fight. Nacha Shreyoru Pashyami. Hatva Sujanamavehe. Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna Nacha Rajyam Sukanicha. Arjuna says, I don't want any sukha from the Rajya. Better, I'll just give up the fight. So Arjuna gives 5 reasons for not fighting the war. The first reason is now described in the last 3-4 verses. That is compassion. Arjuna's compassion was very good, but the problem is it was based on ignorance. So compassion based on ignorance is going to create more harm to the society. Compassion in itself is a good quality, but if the compassion is based on ignorance, then that compassion is going to give opposite results. Like a mother who loves a child so much. The child falls sick. Then the mother thinks, why I should take to the doctor? I love the child more than the doctor. So I'll give the medicine to the child. She has no knowledge of medicine. So she buys maybe the best medicine according to her knowledge and brought and gave the child. The child became more sick. So many people say that Krishna, he actually corrupted the mind of Arjuna. Arjuna was such a good person. He is so compassionate. He did not want to fight the war, but still Arjuna mind was corrupted by Krishna. Arjuna wanted peace, and Krishna instigated Arjuna to fight a war. So people think that Bhagavad Gita is a terrorist literature because Arjuna was instigated by Krishna to fight the war, where Arjuna wanted peace. So if you see from the external point of view, this is what it is. But violence based on knowledge is non-violence. And non-violence based on ignorance is violence. Sometimes people think, oh, we should be non-violent. No, violence is required. Violence based on knowledge is required. What is important is whether you are violent or not. That is not important. Important is whether you have knowledge or not. Now, somebody may be taking a knife and cutting the stomach. That may be coming out and that person is falling. But an ignorant person, see, what is this? He is cutting the stomach. He is cruel. He is committing violence. But actually, he is a doctor. This knife in the hand of a doctor, though he is cutting the stomach, but it is for the benefit. So the so-called violence of a doctor is actually not violence. It is non-violence. The mother scolding a child, beating the child is not violence. Rather, it is compassion. So Arjuna wanted to be practicing non-violence. And he wanted to show compassion. But compassion based on ignorance is going to create more trouble to the society. Arjuna says, Nakangsha Vijayam Krishna, I have no desire to fight. I don't want any victory. Nacharajyam Sukhanicha, I don't want any happiness from the Rajya. Now, Arjuna speaks about the second reason why he is not going to fight. What is the reason? The second reason for Arjuna saying that I don't want to fight, the second reason is this: enjoyment. Oh Krishna, if you really want me to enjoy, why I require a kingdom to enjoy? Because you are there with me. You are Govinda. The amount of enjoyment you as Govinda, person who gives satisfaction and enjoyment to the senses. Go means senses, Vinda means gives. One who gives enjoyment to the senses. The amount of enjoyment or satisfaction you can give to me from the senses, for my senses, is more than anybody can do. Any kingdom can give me. So, Kim no Rajyena Govinda, Kim Bhogair Jiviterva, Kim Bhogair Jiviterva, Eshamarte Kankshitam no, Rajyam Bhoga Sukanicha, Taime Vastita Yudhe, Pranam Tekvas Dananicha, Achari Putra Putra, Sataiva Chittamaha, Maturam, Susuras Putra, Sharya Sambandinastata, Edan Hantu Vichani, Gnatopi Masudana, Taipi Tailokisarachas, Hetoho, Kim no Mahikate. Nihatya Tatarashtra Namaka Priti Syat Janardana. So 32nd to 35th verse. These 4 verses, 32, 33, 34, 35, 4 verses. Arjuna is giving the second reason why he's not going to fight. So what is that second reason? Enjoyment. He says, the enjoyment which I'm going to get from the kingdom, it is actually insignificant. From the enjoyment which I'm going to get from you, O Govinda. Kimno Ram, what is the use of Govinda? What is the use of the kingdom of Govinda? And not only that, Kimbogir Jivitenva Esha Marthe Kankshitam no Rajyam Loga Sukanicha. Arjuna argues with Krishna. He says, Krishna, you are asking me to fight so that I can win the kingdom and enjoy. But do you know, a person can never enjoy alone. He can enjoy along with his relatives. For enjoyment, you require friends, you require relatives. If you're alone in the house, you don't cook chapan bhog and eat. But if you have friends and relatives coming, you make a big feast and eat. So I want, Arjuna. Arjuna says, Krishna, if I fight the war and kill the relatives, how can I enjoy the kingdom? Because enjoyment can only happen when I am with relatives. Suppose, for example, somebody is earning around, say, 10,000-15,000 rupees a month. 14 hours he has to work hard, like a very laborious job. He is working so hard so that he can keep his family happy, he can maintain his family, his wife and children. One person comes and tells him, you give up this job, I give you a job. 50,000 rupees a month, 6 hours only, very comfortable, permanent job. One condition, you have to give up your wife and children. He says, why I should take up your job? The very purpose of why doing a job is to maintain my wife and children, to keep them happy. And now, if you say that I have to give them up to get another job, what is the use of doing that job? The same Arjuna here argues that, oh Krishna, what is the use of fighting this war? Even though if I win the kingdom, I cannot enjoy the kingdom because I have killed the relatives with whom I am supposed to enjoy the kingdom. And then he says, oh Krishna, why are you instigating me to fight this war? What benefit I am going to attain by killing these sons of Dhritarashtra? The Dhritarashtra nam sa ka priti sat Janardana. Oh Krishna, you are Janardana. What kind of Janardana? Generally, Janardana means one who is the protector of Jana, protector of people. Now, Krishna, now you are behaving as if you are the killer of people. Jana plus Ardhana means one who kills people. Now, after talking, the second reason, giving the second reason why he is not going to fight, that is enjoyment. Now, Arjuna speaks the third reason. Why is he not going to fight? The third reason is described in the 36th verse. And the third reason is Papa. I will be inflicted by sin. Papa mevashra yadasman hatveita natatainaha tasam naranavayam hantum datarashtram sabhandavan swajanam hi katam hatva sukina syan madhava. Papa mevashra yadasman hatveita natatainaha. Now here, somebody may say to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you should kill the Dhritarashtra and sons of the Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana and all, because they are Atatais. Atatai means aggressors. There are 6 kinds of aggressors which are mentioned in the Vedic literatures. And especially those literatures talking about the Artha Shastras or the science of economics. The Vedic literature talks about science of morality, economics and politics. They say, if you find an aggressor, you should kill him. By killing an aggressor, you will not get sinful reactions. So, Arjuna, somebody may tell Arjuna, you kill them because they are aggressors. Who are the aggressors? The poison giver. Number 2, one who sets fire to their house. Number 3, one who attacks with deadly weapons. One who plunders the riches. And one who occupies others' land. And one who kidnaps another's wife. So, these are the 6 aggressors. Now, if you see, the Kauravas fall into all the 6 categories. Because they gave poison to the Pandavas, they set their house on fire, they attacked with deadly weapons, they plundered the riches, they kidnapped the wife, they destroyed the land, and all the 6 aggressions were done by the Kauravas and the Pandavas. So the Kauravas are fit to be killed, and even though they killed, sinful reactions are not going to come according to the science of politics, economics, and morality. But Arjuna says, no. I know Krishna. That according to the science of the scriptures dealing with morality, scriptures dealing with politics and economics, killing an aggressor is not going to be sinful. Killing a sinful person is not going to give you sinful reactions. But I don't want to be just a politician or an economist. I want to be religious. So Arjuna wanted to be religious. That is the problem. Wanting to be religious is the problem. Bhagavad Gita is not a book of religion, because Krishna, in the second chapter, he calls Arjuna to be a fool. You fool, Arjuna, you want to be religious and you think that you're very intelligent? No, go beyond religion. I'm going to teach you the science of spirituality. I'm going to give you the knowledge. Knowledge is more important than religion. So Bhagavad Gita is not a book of religion. It is a book of spiritual science. So that is how, as much as 2 + 2 is 4 is true for an Indian, for an American, for a Muslim, for a Hindu and a Christian, the same way Bhagavad Gita is a science. It is not a religious book. It is a book of spirituality. Because Arjuna wanted to be religious and Krishna told, get out of this religiosity, become spiritual. So Arjuna argued that I want to be religious, but according to book code of conduct of religiosity, Karma Shastras, by killing an aggressor, still it is a sin. By killing a sinful person will give you sinful reactions. I will not fight because I don't want to incur sin. Third reason which Arjuna gave for not fighting. Now starts the fourth reason which Arjuna is giving, that is social reasons why he is not going to fight. Yadyapedena pashyanti lovo vatachetasa kulakshaye kritam dosham mitradrohe cha patakam katam nagyem asmavihi papadasman nivartitam kulakshayam kritam dosham prapashyat virjanardana. So yadyapedena pashyanti. Now Arjuna tells, Yadi api etena pashyanti. Ete means all these people who are Rashtra's sons, they are not able to see. What they are not able to see? They are not able to see these two things. Kulaksha kritam dosham. That when the family traditions are destroyed, the effect of it they are not able to see. When you give up your tradition, the whole family, the individuals of the family, they become so degraded and they suffer a lot. Now this become a fashion to give up tradition. Right? It's old style. No, the traditions are meant to protect you. And anybody who are given up traditions, they are suffering like it. And now Arjuna points out this mistake, this problem. He says, Kulakshay kritam dosham. Number 2, Mitra drohe cha patakam. Mitra droha means you are you backstab your own friend. That is called Mitra Droha. Mitra means friend. Droha means you are doing something wrong to your Mitra. Mitra Drohe cha patakam. Quarreling with your own friends. The sin because of backstabbing your friend or fighting with your friend, fighting with your own brothers, that is not seen by the Trashtra, the sons of the Trashtra. Why they are not able to see? Because of lovo patachetasaha. Their consciousness have been carried away with greed. This greed is such a problem that it makes a person give up his traditions, which ultimately makes him suffer, and ultimately the whole society will suffer. And also he will cheat his own brother, his own friends. Katam nagyem asmavihi papadasman nivartitam kulakshekritam dosham prashyati janardana. Oh Krishna, I cannot see how the whole world is going to be destroyed by this war. When there is a war, the elderly people in the society will be killed. Kulakshe pranashyanti kuladharma sanatana. When the traditions are lost and all the dharma which has been carried out from generations to generations, they will be lost. The ancient knowledge will be lost. The ancient culture will be lost. The traditions will be lost. Then dharme nashte kulam krishnam adharmo vivatyuta. When dharma is lost, everywhere there will be adharma. Now, adharma bhivat Krishna pradushyanti kulastriyaha. 40th verse, very interesting verse. The first effect of irreligiosity is seen in women. Who are the people who are affected by irreligiosity? The first people who are affected are women. Why? That is why the women are protected. Now, protection given by the Vedic society, by the Vedic literature, Vedic culture to women, thus has been mistranslated as women are not given freedom. That is why we have one movement called Women's Liberation Movement. They want to get out of freedom. They want freedom. They don't want any bondage. They don't want to be consigned or confined to the Vedic traditions. But just apply a little bit logic. If you have lot of wealth in your house, you have a lot of jewelry and ornaments in your house, where do you keep it? In a locker. Will you keep it open for everyone? No, you'll protect them. The very purpose of keeping the jewelry safe is protection. So the very purpose of so many rules and regulations which are governing the conduct of women is for the protection of women, because the women are more important. That is why they require more protection. The jewelry is very important. It's very expensive. That is why they require protection. If you have some dirty rags, you can just throw anywhere. Anybody steals it, no problem. But precious things are protected. So women are very precious. That is why the Vedic literatures protect them. Like the Prime Minister, Modi, he has come to a town. Now a driver is driving his vehicle and all the police are there guarding him and all. And Prime Minister says, the driver, take a left turn. The driver will say no. He is the Prime Minister. The driver will not listen to the Prime Minister. Why? Because protection is there. The Prime Minister, even though he is the Prime Minister, most important, but he has no freedom. He has no freedom. He just cannot go wherever he wants because it's very important. So, freedom is different. Independence is different. So, some people say, women should be independent. Freedom is given to women, but not independence. We will not go deep into the discussion of these two terms. There's a lot of difference between independence and freedom. So, though there was a freedom struggle, we did not get freedom. We only got independence. We did not get freedom. In the Vedic literatures, women are given total freedom, but not independence. Because the adharma will affect them the first. Where adharma is affecting the first, woman, pradushanti kulastriha striyeshu dushtasu varshneya jayate varnasankara. And what happens when the women are affected with adharma? The first and the foremost quality of a woman is being a mother. The motherhood is destroyed. How do you know motherhood is destroyed? Abortions. Jayate varnasankara. Many years back, there was one doctor, Dr. K. Patel. So he was a very close friend of mine and a very elderly person, but still he was very friendly to me. He told me that, of course, he was once the chairman or advisory to the Planning Commission of India, and he has invented many techniques of abortion. At that time, about 15 years back, he told me, in Mumbai itself, there are 40,000 babies killed in the womb officially. Unofficially, you don't know. Unwanted children is because of pradushanti kulastriya. And send the child, as soon as born, 2-3 months, I am fed up with the child. And I said, some babysitting is there. Let us see. Give the child to somebody that the babies are taken care so that I can go to my company and work. So the matrutva, the vatsalya, the motherhood is destroyed. So when you have unwanted children produced who are either killed in the womb or as soon as they're born, they're sent to some babysitting and crushes or whatever that baby you may call it. Ultimately, when they grow up, they'll find old age home. When a mother found a babysitting, and the baby, when it grows up, finds old age home, reaction. And there will be Sankaro Naraka Eva. It is Naraka. It is a hellish situation around the society. So, Klajnanam Pulasyacha Patanti Pidro Yesham Uttapindo Takriya. So, all the Pindadan, the offering which you do, the forefathers, everything will be lost. Doshe rete kulam kulajnana varna sankara karakai sadante jadidharma kuladharma shashwata. So ultimately, the eternal family traditions are destroyed. Utsanna kuladharmana manusyanam janardhan narakeniyatam vaso. Those who are cause for this situation in the society, the hellish situation in the society, they reside in hell for eternity. So Arjuna says, I don't want to cause the war, which is going to be the cause of a hellish situation in the society. And if I am the cause of the hellish situation in society, I have to reside in hell for eternity. The social reasons he gave, that is, I don't want to fight. Aho Mahat Papam, he is just expressing his anguish, saying that Kartrum Vyavasita Vayam Yadrajasukulobhena Hantum Swajanamagita. Oh, just see what a cruel person I am. I just for the sake of some pleasure of the kingdom, ruling the kingdom, I have taken. I now I became ready. Juta, I became ready to fight and kill my own people. Antum Juta. Yadi ma pratikaram. Krishna told Arjuna, hey Arjuna, what happened to you? They will come and fight you. They will kill you. Let them kill you. I am going to give up my weapons. Ashastram shastrapaanayaha. Yadi mama pratikaram. Ashastram shastrapaanayaha. Datarashtrasya. Datarashtra ranehantu. Tanme kshemataram bhavet. It is better for me that I am killed without arms in my hand, where they are having the arms in their hands. Then Sanjaya says, Evamukto Arjuna Sankhe Ratopasto Pavishat Visucharam Chapam Shoka Samrikna Manasa. With shoka, so much of lamentation, he got down from the chariot and sat down on the chariot, and he gave up his Visvaja Sacharam Chapam, means his both bow and arrow. So the whole purpose of the first chapter is that Arjuna was a good, ignorant person. He was good because he had compassion, he had sense control, mind and sense control, and he had equanimity in both happiness and distress. Ultimately, in the second chapter, he's going to express his faith. So, because of this good quality, such a kind-hearted person like Arjuna is fit to receive self-knowledge, knowledge of the self. Now, Sanjay Uvacha, Tantata Kripaya Vishtam, second chapter, first verse. So Arjuna saw, Krishna saw Arjuna. It give you happiness. Compassion should give you happiness. But here, Vishidam Midam Vakyam, he was crying. Arjuna was crying because he had misplaced compassion. Good, he had compassion, but the compassion was based on ignorance. Now, Krishna, he speaks to Arjuna, saying, hey Arjuna, what happened to you? You're crying. Kutasva Kashmanidam Vishame Sampastitam Anarya Jushtam Aswargama Kirtika, second verse, second chapter. It doesn't make you an Arya. Arya means one who knows the goal of life, and you are acting as if you are an Arya. And this kind of actions will neither give you happiness in this world or in the next. In this world, people will laugh at you. Nobody will think that Arjuna gave up the battlefield out of compassion. People will think Arjuna gave up the battlefield out of covered eyes. So people will laugh at you. So you'll suffer in this world. In the next world, for not performing your duty of fighting, you will go to hell. You will not attain Swarga. And then, Arjuna, what do you think? If you have compassion, no, you don't have compassion. It is actually weakness of the heart. You're misunderstanding weakness of the heart to be compassion. Shudram hridayador bhalyam. It doesn't befit you. That is why give up this weakness of the heart. You are thinking it is compassion you are showing. It is not the compassion. You are just manifesting your weakness of the heart. You have the ability to kill your enemies. Prantapa, tektva. You give it up. This weakness of the heart, and then fight. And Arjuna, he says, okay, Krishna, I'll fight. But how can I kill my own teachers and my own grandfather? Katam Bhishmamaham Sanke Dronam Chamasudana. Oh Madhusudana, you have killed a demon called Madhu. You have killed your enemies, Arisudana. But Have you ever thought of even killing your own grandfather, Sandipana Muni? Could you even think of killing your own teacher, Sandipana Muni, grandfather Drona, grandfather Ugrasena? And you're asking me to kill my grandfather. You're asking me to kill my teacher. How is it possible? Ishubhi Pratiyotsyani, it is said that those who are elders, they may be very aggressive unto us. For no reason they may shout at us, but still we should be very peaceful. We should not react to them. That is what the scriptures say. Guru Nahatva Himanubhavan. Oh no, Bhishma and Drona, they are on the side of Adharma. Kill them. Even though Bhishma and Drona are on the side of Adharma, they are Mahanubhavas. Shreyo, better, Shreyo Bhoktum Bhaikshamapi Haloke. Arjuna, how are you going to survive? No, I'll survive by begging. Bhaikshamapi Haloke. Atvarta Kamans to Guruni Haiva. Unjiya Bogan Rudirak Pradikhan. But I don't want to taste the enjoyment which is tainted with the blood of my Guru, my grandfather. Then Arjuna gives the fifth reason for not fighting. What is the fifth reason? He says, I'm confused. Nachetat vidma kadarno gariyo yadvaje ma idiva mono jayu yane hatva jit yushamaha devastita pramukhe dhatarashtraha. So here Arjuna is saying, I don't know what to do. Whether conquering them is good or being conquered them by them is good. Actually, if I kill the sons of the Tarashtra, Yanev Hatva, na Jiji Shamaha, better I die, better than killing them. Yevastite Pramke Tatarashtra, now I have to take a decision. Oh Krishna, you please help me. I'm surrendered to you. Now, the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter, the turning point of Bhagavad Gita. If Arjuna would have not spoken this verse, we would have not got Bhagavad Gita. Because Arjuna, in confusion, he did one good thing. Being confused is not a problem. But in confusion, if you surrender to Guru, then you get knowledge. If you don't surrender, then you suffer. So, in the 7th verse of the 2nd chapter, Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Tarpanyatoshoprasvabhava Prichami tvam dharma sammudha cheta Yashreyasyan nishchitam bruhitanme Sishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. So Arjuna says to Krishna, I have all the ability to fight, but still I have been inflicted by the weakness of Kripanata, miserliness. And this miserliness has become my swabhava. In that miserliness of swabhava has become my nature. Prichami tvam. I am asking you. What I am asking you? Yashreha. Krishna, please tell me what is beneficial for me. Please tell me what is good for me. I am not interested in what makes me feel good. In the Upanishads, there are two terms. That is Shreyas and Preyas. Shreyas means something which is beneficial, something which is good for us. Preyas means something which makes me feel good. Not everything in this world which makes me feel good is not good. Just because something makes you feel good, that may not be good. Smoking can make a person feel good, but it is not. A child who has exams the next day may feel good by playing the mobile games, but it is not. So Arjuna says, I am not interested in what is making me feel good. I am interested in what is good for me. Not fighting is making me feel good. But Krishna, please explain to me. I am willing to tell my mind, give up the desire to get those things which makes you feel good. It is only a feeling, that's why it is not reality. I feel good. Actually, it's not good. It's just a feeling only. So those who are after feelings, they would never ever attain the truth and become actually progressive in life. If somebody has to be progressive in life, one has to give up the pursuit of those things which makes you feel good. One has to accept those things which are actually good for us. Now, Krishna is like a guru to Arjuna. Arjuna surrendered to his guru or Krishna. And in this verse, Arjuna is telling to the entire world, surrender to the spiritual master. Because it is only He who can solve the problems of our life. In spite of all our intellectual abilities, all the material assets, we by ourselves cannot solve the problems of our life. We have to approach a spiritual master. We have to approach a guru and surrender to him. That is why Arjuna says, Sishchasteham, I am your disciple. So I have the right to ask you. You have to give me the answer. What is good for me? Please tell me. And what kind of disciple I am? Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Prapannam, I am a surrendered disciple, not just another disciple just for the sake of being a disciple. I am a surrendered disciple. What kind of surrender I have? 8th verse says, Nahi prapashyami mamapankyat yachokumuchoshanam indriyanam amapya bhumnam asapatna ruddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. Says, oh Krishna. Krishna would tell Arjuna, why are you coming to me? Go to somebody else, go to Brihaspati, go to some great rishis to get knowledge. Why are you coming to me? I am just a Yadava. Arjuna says, my surrender is such that I don't see anybody else, oh Krishna, other than you who can solve my problems, who can give me guidance. Then Arjuna, Krishna told, if I give you make you Indra, the king of heaven, Rajyam Surana, even if I become the king of heaven, still I am not going to give up, surrender to your lotus feet. So we end today with this conclusion that Arjuna surrenders to Krishna and shows us a path that we should also surrender to the representative of Krishna, surrender to the Guru, then only we can solve the problems of our life. Stop here.
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhu, for today's session. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpataru Bhyach Kripa Sindhu Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic participation, dear devotees, and we look forward to having you over next Sunday at the same time, and we will let you know via our communication. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. All
Hare
glory.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.